Welcome to Burning Bright, a weekly podcast presenting poetry and prose from Passenger. Sheila Golburgh Johnson said, "I am always astonished by the difference between love as it appears in popular fiction and the reality of it. Or maybe what astonishes me is the difference between the romantic experiences of youth and the way romance is experienced in middle age." Here's Sheila Golburgh Johnson's poem, Myself in Love. Why is it my sexual adventures never match those in fiction? Why does the young man show up as unwanted as water on the floor, and on the very next page sheds his pants as he follows her up the stairs because she's baking a fruitcake and the aroma in the kitchen arouses them both? My cake never aroused a man to do anything but eat it. And I would never lead him upstairs in the full awful knowledge that the cake would have to be tested in 10 minutes and might need another 5. Anyway, how does a man shed his pants climbing stairs? I have known men to stumble and trip shedding pants beside their own beds. I would feel compelled to follow the fellow upstairs to cushion the fall, if he fell, which might result in a tender and bruised, not in the mood, heap on the floor. Myself in Love by Sheila Golburgh Johnson from Passenger's 21st anniversary anthology, Burning Bright. Funny name for an anthology. Virginia Anderson started writing poetry in her 60s. Here's an excerpt from her longer poem, Time to Speak of Him. When he and I met, it was complete and full of joy. We'd go deep into a forest or along a shore. We followed trails or climbed mountains. We needed no one else. Now and then we would find stars. He would make up jokes and we'd laugh and say they were stars. Oh yes, we knew stars when we saw them. And he would sing. He was a singing man, and he was good at singing. On a 3-day army pass, he'd thumb a ride north to meet me. Truck drivers were the ones who usually picked him up. He had to sing for his ride. As long as he continued to sing, he'd have a ride, and they'd sing with him. He loved to sing. He knew all the songs the drivers liked best: Old Man River, The Man Who Stirred His Coffee with His Thumb, Stormy Weather. He never lost his ride. As long as he continued to sing, he'd have a ride. The drivers liked him, and I was in love with him forever. And if he were alive today, we'd meet and go back to that time. No matter how old we might be, we'd go back to that time together and be alive all over again. Time to Speak of Him, Virginia Anderson, from Passenger, issue 61. Ebby Malmgren helped edit Passenger for several years in the 1990s and early 2000s. She's also a wonderful potter and clay artist. Her work, her insights, and her spirit have inspired all of the Passenger staff and board members who have known her. Ebby turns 100 on Valentine's Day. Here's her poem, Stone Dream, from Passenger, issue 29. When I became stone, I thought I'd be lonely, for how could I know that violets would cluster and whisper in shade at my base, that lichen would hug me, and field mice and earthworms and beetles would tunnel beneath me to winter down, or that thunder and lightning would gash me before rain began with a soft drumming sound, or no primrose would sprout on my southern side, or know that I'd go on breathing and dreaming, the time is both taker and giver, and in the year of the 100-year flood, I'd dance once again in the river. Stone Dream by brand new centenarian Ebby Malmgren. To purchase any of these issues, subscribe to Passenger, or learn more about the press and its commitment to writers over 50, go to passengerbooks.com. You can download Burning Bright from Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, and various other podcast apps. Before we go, this from Passenger's managing editor, Christine Drall.
Passenger is a small, nonprofit press with a big mission. As the youngest Passenger staff member, I am continually inspired by writers decades older than me who are putting their work into print for the first time. If you think older writers are only relevant to older readers, I'm here to say that these voices have given me a tremendous amount of hope for my own future. I used to fear that creativity and discovery were things we left behind as children, but these remarkable people have showed me they're things we always carry with us, and it's never too late to reignite them. You can help inspire others with a donation to Passenger in any amount. Go to passengerbooks.com and click on Donate at the top of the page.
For Kendra, Mary, Christine, Roseanne, and the rest of the Passenger staff, I'm John Shore.